Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel, Psychic Goddess Erika. Today we're doing the October forecast for the collective. So, as many of you know, if you've been a long-time subscriber, but if you're new here, even though this is a forecast for October of 2022, the time doesn't necessarily matter. It's still timeless, meaning whenever you happen to come across this video, whatever month that you're in, you can still get a message from it. So for example, what I mean by that is if you happen to come across this and it's July of 2023, if you feel drawn to this for any reason, there's still messages that can apply. So if, for example, you're in week 1 of that month, just go into the description box below where the timestamps are and click on week 1 of this video, of this reading, and the messages can still apply. Or you can click on the general message and the messages can still apply. So whether you're watching it for October of 2022 or any other month, my intention with this and every single video that I put out is that you can get something from it regardless of what the timing says. So all that being said, my daughter's over here, so if I look over this way, she's in her play area. So I'm just checking on her from time to time. Right now, she's just listening. So today I'm gonna be working with the Wonders and Witches Oracle deck created by my friend Annika. Perfect for spooky season, Halloween season, if you happen to be seeing this during that time. The Hoodoo Tarot, one of my absolute favorite tarot decks. And then 2 of the decks that I created. This is the Archer's Love Oracle deck 2nd edition with both sides being holographic. Archer was my maiden name. And the Archer's Career Oracle deck, this one only has 1 holographic side, but it has a lot of cards in it. More cards in it than the other deck is what I mean. So if you're interested in either of the ones I created, you can go down below in the description box and the information is there on where you can purchase those. So let's go ahead and start off with the general message for the month for October of 2022 or whenever you happen to see this. Okay, I want to start off with tarot. So this is going to be a general message for the collective. May the message resonate with anyone and everyone who sees this, whenever you see it, truth be told. Also remember, this is a general reading. Take what resonates, release what doesn't. If you're interested in specific questions or topics, you can always book a personal reading with me. And again, that's down below in the description box on where you can go to do that. Okay. I don't know the full lyrics of this song that I'm hearing through my clairaudience or even who sings it right now, but the one is like easy like Sunday morning. So what I think Spirit is saying is for the month, it's gonna be important to kind of take it easy, relax, try to flow, try to rest. It's a good time for that. But let's see what else is going on. My daughter is paying such close attention. You learning so that you can pull cards later? You gonna read mama? All right, so the first message is the Ace of Baskets, which is the Ace of Cups in traditional tarot. So it's giving the energy of overflow, overabundance of emotions, overabundance of opportunities, blessings, however it may come through. And when I say overabundance of emotion, that could be positive emotions, but it could also be overwhelming emotions of other forms, of other kinds, like feeling overly tired or feeling like there's stress or over a lot of joy. Like it's gonna mean different kinds of emotions for different people. But what I'm getting from it is, with that being said, it's important that you communicate those emotions. Spirit is not wanting you to hold them in, because holding them in could manifest into different unhealthy forms, is the best way I can put it. That could be unhealthy behaviors, unhealthy addictions, unhealthy ways of thinking, unhealthy actions, or things that can turn into something physical like headaches or another form of sickness, for example. So you need to communicate. You need to express what you're feeling, what you're thinking, what you're going through. Do not hold it in. So whether that's expressing it to a romantic partner or a friend or family member or a therapist or a advisor, a teacher, or even to some sort of community or group of people that you turn to in these times, that is coming up. But I'm also getting this energy of just overwhelming change that is needed, change that is necessary, with little sprinkles of reflections of the past, is what Spirit just said. Like that sprinkling in, but change is still happening. And the energy of October does have an energy of the death card, of transition, of transformation, of rebirth. So there may be elements of grief involved, and sometimes that grief comes from sadness or just from change overall, or from loss, things of that nature. But sometimes even happy change can bring in grief, because the change is so huge, like moving or having a child, like postpartum. It's beautiful and it's a blessing, but it still comes with so much change that you grieve your old life, no matter how much you love that child and the joy and the blessings that it is to be a parent. You know what I'm saying? So there's a bit of that energy too. Let's see what else is going on for the general energy of the month. Moving on to the Wonders and Witches Oracle deck. I'm gonna finish the general reading for the collective, and then I'll go to each week for the energy of the collective, if you're new to how this works on my channel. The light is reflecting on me funny from the window right here, so sorry I couldn't do much about it, but let's see. Okay, so all of those came up that I just laid out in reverse, upside down. So I also take that as some of you may feel like certain things in your life are being turned upside down, or maybe you're beginning to see certain things from a new and different perspective that you didn't expect or had never done so before. But I also see the message of feeling stuck with the message of spider webs. So some of you may be feeling stuck or like things are on pause. But with this energy, there's a need to have patience, because spiders also represent divine feminine energy. So just like it takes time for a spider to weave a web, it's not extremely fast and it takes time. So are the things that are going to be manifested. So are the things when it comes to ideas you're trying to execute, or for inspiration, or for that change that's happening. It's going to take some time. So be patient with yourself and open yourself up to receiving by resting at times. It's that energy of resting to create, which goes back to the beginning of that message of taking it easy. So that stuck energy, that unknown energy, is actually a beautiful creative space, because it's going to allow you to weave elements of your life, ideas, paths that you can take, whatever it might be, you know, one thread at a time in the web. And then let's move on over to the Archer's Love Oracle. Now this is for the energy, the frequency of love. I just saw the message of family, so there's an emphasis on family dynamics, whether that's family you already have, spending quality time, or making time for family, planning to do so. whether that's trying to heal something with family of the past or present, whether that's planning for future family or trying to get things in order for it. However, it could even be work family or chosen family like soul tribe, soul connections, or friendships. However family resonates for you, there's a emphasis of energy surrounded on and focusing on family. We also see other distractions. So there may be some other distractions coming up or at play. So try your best to eliminate distractions that are draining you, to eliminate distractions that are making you feel uneasy, to eliminate distractions that are not serving in your highest good. For some reason, Spirit is talking about the rule of 3. So if you don't know what the rule of 3 is, it's basically, hi baby. The rule of 3 is basically, if you've already, at least how I know it to be, if you've already talked to somebody about something 3 times, expressed a need, expressed how something makes you feel, expressed a change that you desire, if you've already said it 3 times and they have not acted on it or changed it yet, on one hand, they probably won't, at least not with you still being there, because at that point, it's kind of on you. You've already brought it up at least 3 times. There's been no change. You're still there. It's just kind of enabling the problem at that point. So that being said, I think what Spirit is saying is that if you've already expressed yourself several times to someone and they're not making an effort to change or evolve or even hear you or understand where you're coming from because they're focused on themselves and their needs are set in their ways, then take space from that person or distance yourself altogether. Whoever this resonates with, whoever needed to hear that. Because again, general reading, take what resonates, release what doesn't. Let's get another message with the Archer's Career Oracle deck before I get into each week. It's a good time to build on side projects, to begin to monetize hobbies and side projects. I feel that energy too because I saw the side project card when I first parted the deck. And it's a great time to reinvent yourself. That also makes sense because when I talked about earlier about that rebirth energy for around October, if you're seeing this in October, and if you're not seeing this in October, then that energy still applies. It's like that phoenix energy of death and then rebirth. And with that being said, some of this is the ego death for a lot of people, to where the illusion is now being removed. The veil is now gone. Delusion's gone. You're seeing the facts. You're seeing the truth of things. And sometimes that may hurt, but it's needed and necessary. So it's a great time to reinvent yourself. And in particular, if your birthday is falling around the time of you seeing this video, or maybe it just passed, or maybe it's coming up, in particular around your birthday is a really good time to begin to reinvent yourself and incorporate change, whether that's change in terms of seeing and viewing things in a different perspective, a change in terms of your habits, a change in how you dress, something with your physical appearance, where you're eating or drinking or exercising, or a hobby, or changing up a career, changing up relationships, whatever it is for you, it's a good time for it. Okay, so now let's get into each week. You're doing so good, baby. Yay, I'm so proud of you. Beautiful. Yes, girl, beautiful smile. Okay. Helping out mama. All right, so let's get into week 1. Week 1, we have the message of Black Herman, also known as the Magician energy. I was actually reading about him. This is based upon a real person. So week 1, what I do feel is it's important to really dive into the causes that are important to you, to stand your ground. And everybody's role is different, is what I'm hearing them talking about. So, like, for some people, they're the ones at protest, or they're the ones speaking out on video, and other people, they're behind the scenes holding space, or making creative art that expresses what they really feel and what they stand for. So if that resonates with you, that is coming up as a message. But I'm also getting the energy of planning. It's a perfect time to plan for your future. You have the tools needed to execute the manifestations, to execute the change, to move forward. And it's a great time for that. Reinvent yourself. Going back to that message, you hold the power in your hands. It's a time to tap into your uniqueness, your unique ability, what's special about you, and how you connect to people or the world or your vision or your own talents. Be unique. That is coming up also. And I'm also hearing Spirit say, tend to your garden. So whether that's symbolic in terms of tending to your garden, in terms of it takes both work and effort to maintain, but also it can be something therapeutic and luxurious that can literally bear fruit, or things for you to have that nourish your spirit, your soul, your body inside and out, whether that's symbolically speaking or literally. If you do plant magic, it's a great time to tap into that. And that includes kitchen magic, working with herbs and things like that for week 1. Then we have the message of purity, and you may want to work with white candles to do candle magic. It's a good time to purify the energy in your home, cleansing your home, to purify yourself if you haven't done a good cleansing, whether that's a spiritual bath or spiritual shower, or using sage or incense or Palo Santo. It's a good time for that, to purify yourself, to purify your home. It's also a good time to get rid of things that you don't need in the home, clothes, objects, things that remind you of a period of your life that you associate with not the greatest memories or energy or people. Time to get rid of that stuff. Secure the bag, make the deal. So it's a good time to more so tap into financial investments. Maybe you're studying how to better invest your money. Maybe you are considering certain contracts or deals or agreements or partnerships, collaborations, things like that. Just listen to your intuition, use your discernment on it, but it's a good time for changes, and it's a good time to start really investing into your future to make sure that you're stable and secure. And if you do so, what they're saying is you may begin to see some of the results of it in the spring season. Even if you are just learning about it and gaining the knowledge on things that you can do, then that's a good week to do so. And we also see the message of online activity. So some of you may be using online, the world of online, to do your research, to look into things. Hey girl. Some of you may be connecting with certain people online that's significant to you, because it's going to be different kinds of significance for different people. Some of you are lurking on others online, or they're lurking on you, and you can feel it or literally see it, especially if you're like watching a story or something, you can see who viewed it, things like that. Some of you are also taking space from spending so much time online as well. So take what resonates with you, release what doesn't. Going into week 2, we have, oh my goodness, a lot of support from spirit, and a lot of support from people too, for some of you in your life. We have support system and support team came up for week 2. So there's a lot of support around you. Know that you're not going at it alone. Even if you think you are, you're not, because spirit has your back. And for some of you, this is the time to ask for support if you need it. If you are feeling overwhelmed, I just heard some of you feel like you're drowning. And if that's you, then ask for help, ask for support, whether it's from people that are close to you, whether it's from spirit, or whether it's, looking online, watching YouTube videos, self-help books, looking for a support group out there, a class, things like that. What I'm also seeing here though is week 2 has the energy of the 5 of baskets, 5 of cups energy. So there is some energy of feeling like you got to do it all alone, but like I keep saying, you're not alone, even though it may feel like that sometimes. You may be feeling a bit overwhelmed. Some of you may be battling a form of depression, or some of you may be feeling like there's just been not, like you're waiting for your time. You're waiting for your time to come and you're disappointed with the lack of it happening, or you feel like somebody has hurt you, things like that. That's coming up. But again, you have a support system, you have a support team, you have a support system. And for some of you, this could also be like, if this is work, if you're in like technical support, or maybe you have to write into customer service or something like that. I'm getting the energy of they're gonna have your back, things like that. Take what resonates, release what doesn't. And then I have spirit messages coming through. Some of you, your mediumship abilities may be kicking up a notch. You may have a lot of visitations from the spirit realm or channel messages, especially because if you're seeing this around October, the veil is thin. And so there's a lot more of that activity happening. And it could also be as well things such as one person's spirit communicating to you. And what I mean by that is this could be somebody that's still alive and walking this earth, but maybe they're not really ready to say something to you directly. So their soul is communicating to yours through dreams at night, visitations through dreams at night, or something of that nature, or maybe through signs, symbols, or synchronicities as well. Those are also forms of spirit messages. Your spirit guides could also be trying to connect with you in week 2. Going into week 3, a time for recovery. So again, allowing yourself time to rest and relax. And my eye just went to this 9 to 10 time frame at the top, this 9 to 10 message. So I kind of feel like they're saying, if you're seeing this around the October time frame, then September to October it's a time for recovery from something. It could also be as well that if you're not seeing this around October, that is just saying that the messages of numerology of 9 and 10 are playing a factor in this recovery during week 3, meaning the closing of a chapter and now you're going into a new one, but you're still kind of in that in-between unknown space where it's like once something's over and done, or you can feel the change happening, but you're still in this very new first step in this new energy that you haven't been in before or for a while. And so what Spirit is saying is that the unknown, the void space, is a beautiful space to be in. I think this came up earlier, but it's a great time to go back to the drawing board to create. What I also see in week 3 is romantic connection. And I just did a little shimmy because I just feel like this energy of romance may be kicking up a notch. So whether you are dating someone or already in a relationship or a marriage, it's a time to get back to romance. And if you haven't in a while, maybe it's time to do something to reconnect romantically. If you're not in a partnership, then date yourself. Do something that makes you feel sexy and good, that has a romantic vibe. Romanticize your life. So it's like, what an example of that is, you grab a cup of coffee or tea, and romanticizing it is like, oh my gosh, this tea is just amazing. I'm so blessed. I have so much luxury. That can be a quick, small example of romanticizing your life, but it's actually a great manifestation technique, and it puts you in a good vibe, and it makes everything just feel more joyful. You know what I mean? That's coming up too, and Lula agrees if you heard her little laugh. I see the 8 of baskets, which is the 8 of cups energy. It's time to walk away and leave something behind. It's time to move forward or relocate into a new place, a new environment, a new headspace, whatever resonates with you. Take time for yourself. Distance yourself from drama and red flags. Distance yourself from that feeling of, you know how when you're just finally reaching a point of just, you know what, I'm really over it. I'm really ready to keep it pushing. I feel that vibe coming up. So take this as a sign that yes, it could be a good idea to go ahead and just walk away, move in a new direction, take time for yourself, and understand that new doors of opportunity are going to open up for you once you walk away from the one that closed or is in the process of closing. Doors opening, and it's a key. And the skeleton key, a skeleton key, if you don't know what a skeleton key is, it's like the master key. It opens any door in a house. So I take this as holding the skeleton key to open up new doors, any new door of opportunity, of manifestation for yourself in next chapters. Going into, my daughter's about to roll over, so I was just watching her. Okay. Going into week 4, and this is a recurring message. Remember how in the beginning I brought up something about the spring? It's up there at the top, it says in spring. Okay, so week 4, they're also bringing up something again in the spring. We have the message of new life in spring. Spring to summer. So week 4 is a continuation of this new life that you're creating. I feel like, again, you're going to see positive results or feel like a whole new person, that whole rebirth, phoenix energy. You're going to feel more of the results in a very positive way in the spring to summer season. And that's because at the time of you viewing this, it feels kind of more like heavy. It's like that awkward transitional period, to where it feels more lonely, like a butterfly, like a caterpillar in the cocoon before it becomes a butterfly and emerges, or like when the phoenix is going through that transitional process of things going up into flames before they're reborn. We're kind of like in the ashes part. But in the spring to summer, somewhere around that time, that new life energy, that fresh start energy, that feeling of cleanliness, spiritually, mentally, emotionally, or maybe even physically, is coming up, that renewal energy. So what they're saying is things might feel heavy right now, but hold on tight, have trust in divine timing, because upcoming in the spring to summer, it's going to be a whole new world. So that's coming up. We also have red flags. So pay attention to red flags, in particular in relationships. Any relationship, platonic, romantic, friendships, family, business, online relationships. Pay attention, relationship with yourself, how you talk to yourself. Pay attention to the red flags. Do not sweep them under the rug. Address them and decide whether or not they're deal breakers or not. But they're there, and they're there for a reason, and it's Spirit helping you by noticing them. It's also going to let you know if you have to move with caution or distance yourself as well. We have 7 of Baskets coming up, 7 of Cups energy. So an abundance of choices, of pathways that you can take. Choose wisely. There may be a lot of information to take in, or a lot of information that's coming up and being revealed. So I just take it in stride. I just heard Spirit say, and really reassess things, and then choose wisely how you want to navigate this new information or the new emotions that are coming up. Choose wisely in terms of the different pathways that you can take. And for some of you, remember that you have options. Some of you really need to remember that you have options, especially when you start noticing some sort of a red flag that's coming up. If something is beginning to feel like a deal breaker, you have options. And one of those options is to walk away and open up to newness. Even if that means you have to be alone for a period, or feel like it's a lonely time of starting over, however it resonates with you. Just remember you have options. You don't have to remain stuck or attached to anyone or anything that is draining you, making you feel extremely unhappy, there are things to be considered. And for some of you, these options feel like a great thing. Like maybe you feel like there's a lot of options in terms of opportunities coming your way that are really positive, or new knowledge coming in, or suitors, or things that you can do. Like, you know what, do I want to go to Jamaica or do I want to go to Hawaii? Like, you know what I'm saying? Things like that. So however options are resonating with you in week 4. So that's what I see for you guys overall. If you choose to, you could always tip by buying me a coffee for the energy exchange. For the reading, the information is down below in the description box on where you can go to do that. Like this video, subscribe to my channel, comment below how it's resonating with you, if it's resonating now, or if you want to come back each week and let me know how things are playing out, or towards the end of the month and let me know how things are playing out. Let me know. I see my daughter's hand flying. She's trying to roll around in her play area. So I'm gonna run, but I'm excited for the energy of this transformation, even though it may feel difficult. It may be a lot of shadow work for a lot of people, but it's worth it. Talk to you guys another time. Bye.